We're excited about it. I told our guys earlier in the week, this game, there's no shortcuts. You get what you deserve. The work you put in, regardless of who your opponent is necessary to achieve the things that you want. And for us, it was about how do we get better. And defensively, we've been on this, upward trajectory of working to get better each and every week. I thought we reached that again this week. And then offensively, again, I think this is the 7th week in a row, or is it 6th or 7th? 7th consecutive week where we've reached a plateau of 500 yards or more. So, consistency of performance on the offensive side of the ball, and then, continue to make that improvement necessary to have a team that can compete for an SEC championship. That was the goal coming in at this year. We ran into a couple of rough spots as we were moving through the schedule, but I'm really proud of the way our guys have responded to some adversity and have put themselves in a really good position to, again, with 4 games remaining, be in the thick of the SEC race. So great night again at Tiger Stadium relative to our opponent and having West Point here. I thought that, our game management, our administration, I think is to be commended for the way that we, welcomed the Service Academy in here. I thought the field looked fabulous. I thought, having, just the entire atmosphere, really resonated in honoring, our Service Academy and those that serve our country. So, great night here at Tiger Stadium. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
Driver here. Just what was the deal with Zy Alexander going out in the end of the first half? And then you mentioned it in the offset, 7 straight games of 500 yards offensively. Just can you just expand on just how efficient you guys are running right now?
Yeah, a lower body injury that'll get evaluated here over the next 24, 48 hours. We'll get a better picture of that. The offensive efficiency is one where you look towards one guy and then somebody else steps up. Last week Brian Thomas didn't have but 2 catches, I think, and then obviously has an explosive night tonight. So we just have so many different options and so many different weapons, and the running game obviously was not something that we went to right away. We felt like throwing the football was the best way to move the football tonight, but then we come out with in terms of running the game, we rushed for over 200 yards again. So again, I don't know if there's enough superlatives to talk about it, but it's balanced, it's physical, there's playmakers, and it's led by a quarterback that's as hot as anybody in the country.
Coach, right here, was Denver Harris available to play in this game?
No, inactive.
Inactive? Okay.
Yes.
And what sort of status with him, and how have some of the younger guys in that cornerback room sort of developed over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I was pleased with Hughes' performance out there. We played him at corner. I thought he did a really good job. They ran a double move on him. His eyes were good. Jeremiah Hughes, that is, true freshman. You saw Javion Toviano playing some corner. Excuse me. So, those are the guys we've got. We're down to playing 2 corners that are true freshmen. You guys got anybody else? That's all we got. Any other questions about the freshman corners? Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. No, I like them. They're just, they're freshman corners, and those are the 2 that were available to us because Stamps is still out with an injury, and he'll be back hopefully on the bye week.
Coach, from the back, how did you think both of your lines played straight back? How did you think your lines played, missing Emery and Mackay? And then what do you want to work on in the bye week? Have you identified anything, or is that what the bye week is for?
At first glance, I thought our individual techniques up front were much better. I thought we played with better pads. Our gap integrity and gap control was pretty good on the defensive line. From an offensive line standpoint, we handled a defense that does a lot of movement, and there's a lot of stunting. So I'll have to watch the film to get a better sense. I was really locked in more with the defensive line play. But again, I think, Daniels was pretty clean up front. There was one time that, there was some pressure, but I think all in all, I think, we're really getting the kind of offensive line and defensive line play that allows you to be a very good football team. As it relates to the bye week, we'll look at some things that we think that are important for us to address in practice before we, start to look at Alabama. I think there's some things that individually that we want to get some players to look at, and then some scheme things, and we'll do that on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Coach, over here, overall, just with the vertical passing game, how good did it look? What was the key to sort of open it up and getting those big shots down the field?
Well, again, it's a combination of finding your one-on-one matchups when it's man coverage, and then we're getting a combination of some cover too, where they're rolling the corner to Malik's side, and you got split safeties, and those kids are pretty good. They're going to run off safeties anytime. So I just think it's again, we're going to take advantage of our athletes in space against what you give us in terms of coverage. And if you're going to play a lot of cover two, we're going to run the football, and we're going to push the ball down the field vertically.
Coach, right here. Ever since the second half of that Missouri game, you guys have tried to kind of marry the concepts of discipline and aggressiveness defensively. With this game, that obviously played a big part. Where do you feel like you are kind of heading into that bye week and in the latter half of this season where it's going to be important?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm pretty pleased with, playing a team that runs, a very difficult offense, because you have to leverage the football, you have to tackle well, you have to have gap integrity. All the principles of playing good defense are on display tonight. You have to have those in place. And so, we passed the test. Now, again, I'm not ready to nominate this defense for, any award, but they are making the progress necessary to continue to build and have the building blocks to be a defense that can be a championship, football team. So good steps forward tonight. This was a big step for us.
I have a cough drop if you need one, and I'm not being
It's
sarcastic.
not a cough drop. It's I don't know. I'm just so excited to be with everybody here tonight. Getting a little choked up.
On a serious note, talking about the defense.
I was serious.
Andre Sam, 2 interceptions, his growth and his progression this season.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. His patience is really what's starting to show. I thought he took himself out of some plays early in the year, being maybe just a little too aggressive or out of control. If you remember early on, maybe some missed tackles. He's really settled in and is playing confident and patrolling the middle of the field. He had a couple maybe, he'd like to have back, or he'd have 4 interceptions. But playing at a high level, we need him to continue to do that. If he does, he presents a solid piece for us back there.
Do you talk to the team at all about kind of the way the season is mirroring last year, or do you want this team to be itself?
Not really. We talked about it, after the Missouri game a little bit. Hey, we're at 4-2. This is where we were last year. But we haven't, since that time, really talked about it, because that was kind of like, getting over the disappointment of, playing poorly. But it's really just been about, now, playing with the right, mindset each and every week. And I think they're beginning to obviously grab hold of that.
In the back, you mentioned Daniels, but just how important is it for him to be playing at this level, especially going into this stretch running SEC play?
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody can have their own, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but he sure looks good to me. And so when your quarterback is playing at that kind of level, he gives you a chance to win every game. He's got a great supporting cast. There's no doubt about it. But, the quarterback drives, college football, the NFL, high school, wherever it is, the quarterback's the driver. And right now he's playing at an elite level.
Coach, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but can you win a championship in just winning track meet games? Can you guys outscore people the rest of the year? Is that
We
possible?
just shut out an opponent. Are you just going to throw water on this thing? We just shut somebody out. Now we're in a track meet. That track meet was a long time ago. I don't even remember it. All I remember is playing really good defense this game. Last week we gave up 18 against Auburn, and they just I didn't know they lost, but they were in a heck of a tussle with the team that we lost to. The week before, I think Missouri's a pretty good team, and our last 2 quarters were pretty good. So I get what you're saying. I hear you. But I think we're making progress. And so, no, we can't win a championship, giving up 30, 40, 50 points a game. I don't believe that. But we can if we continue to improve.
When you think back to last year and the idea of putting the ball at risk and to see the growth that relatively the same offenses made during the year, is that staggering to you, or is it kind of expected?
32 years in this business, if I was staggered by anything an 18 to 21-year-old did, I wouldn't be in this very long. So staggering does not hit my radar very often. I'm pleased with the discipline that we're showing. And look, we got to work on it every day. I mean, it is a constant day-to-day process that we're in about building good habits and building discipline and doing those things. So, we're 2 years into this, and we have to work on it every single day. Thank you.